Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to maintain a simplified financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, well, hello everyone and happy Friday. Welcome back to my channel. If you can see these beautiful flowers, and it doesn't even do it justice, honestly, but I was just about to start filming and my son walked in the door with these. My cousin's wife sent them to me. So yesterday was the anniversary of my dad's death. It has been 3 years since he passed away. And my cousin's wife sent this lovely arrangement to me, and I just thought that it was the most generous, thoughtful, kind thing to do. So instead of the little floral arrangement that I had sitting here, I decided to just put this in my channel because I actually started my channel 2 years ago on the anniversary of my dad's death, which was totally unplanned. It's just when I decided to start uploading my content. But this was just the sweetest thing ever. So anyways, she doesn't watch my channel because none of my family know that I have a YouTube channel, but it was just so kind and generous and I was overwhelmed by it. And I thought, you know what, we're gonna all enjoy my flower arrangement today. So anyways, enough rambling. Today's video is the weekly check-in video, and that video is, this is the process of budgeting. If you are new to this system, this is the process of budgeting that is the most important, because it honestly and truly doesn't matter how wonderful of a budgeting plan you establish if you don't track your expenses and hold your finances accountable, hold your spending accountable. It's all for naught. So you can have the best budget plan in the whole wide world, but you really honestly truly need to track your expenses. That is the crux of the whole system. And so that's what my weekly check-in video is for. I show you how we go about doing that. My husband and I sit down a couple times a week and we go through all of our expenses. I only go over with you guys the expenses that we expend, the expenses that we do from our cash stuffed categories. So if it's an online purchase and it is coming out of a category that we don't cash stuff for, I don't check in with that with you guys. Obviously, in order to have the whole picture, actually, let me rewind here. My husband and I, if you're new to this system, zero-based budgeting is the method that we utilize, and that is creating a plan for every single dollar that comes into your house. I uploaded our January budget with me on Wednesday, so I'll go ahead and leave that linked for you guys now if you're interested. What we do from there is we create a cash stuffing plan. About 50% of our budget is cash stuffed and the other 50% stays in our checking account. Mostly it's just our bills and expenses that we keep in our checking account. We don't cash stuff and then pull it out and put it back and all that sort of thing. It's just easier for us from a streamlined standpoint to leave that money in the bank. All of the other, mostly sinking funds and things that aren't super duper crucial to just keep in our checking account, I do cash stuff. Full disclosure, I do that because of creating content here for you guys. And I've said this before that I don't know entirely if we would do cash stuffing if I didn't have a YouTube channel that I create content for. On the other hand, I have also said, and I maintain the truth of this, if you're a person who needs to build up the excitement for budgeting and cash stuffing makes it fun for you, do the cash stuffing, because that is honestly and truly, especially in the beginning, what helped me to stay true to the process, because I looked forward to cash stuffing and because I looked forward to I'm taking this money and I'm putting it in these categories and I'm watching this build up and it's so exciting. That part of it for me made it super fun. And I actually think, was it in my cash stuffing video on Monday? I think there was a lovely little discussion down in the comments about how the cash stuffing portion or giving every dollar a plan is what made it so exciting for this one particular commenter. And then a couple other people underneath the comments were like, yeah, me too, me too. And honestly and truly, it really is. The fun of it is in waiting for the paycheck and giving the dollars a purpose. Every dollar having a job is the most exciting thing, and it's what motivates you to kind of stick with it. And for me, honestly, the cash stuffing portion of it was part and parcel to that. Like, I looked forward to stuffing the envelopes every single week. So if you need some motivation and some encouragement to keep moving forward because you find the process of budgeting in general just sort of daunting, make sure that you're allowing for those sorts of things, like those little pieces of encouragement, those little fun parts of it that make it exciting for you. Do those things so that you stick with it. It's so worth it. Anyways, so because we only cash stuff about 50% of our budget, I only go over with you guys the expenses that come out of these cash stuffed categories, because there's no purpose in my brain to go over every single purchase with you guys, like to let you know when our mortgage has come out, to let you know when our electricity bill has hit. Like that just, it feels superfluous for me. And it's not necessary for me to showcase the process, in my opinion. So anyways, all of that to say, that's what this video is. This video is the video where we reconcile all of the non-cash transactions for the categories of our budget that we cash stuff for. So that's what this is. So I'm just going to grab my budget planner here and grab my poor little flowers. I'm going to go back to my, by the way, this is all like printed wonky. This was just like an example printing straight out of my printer. So I'm sorry if the crooked pages drive you batty. It's just, it was like a quick print thing, so I could put this in my budget planner. Here, let me grab my expense tracking page. And then what I'm going to do is zoom you guys in a little bit closer so that you can see the actual expenses themselves. And we will get into the expense tracking. All right, so we don't have space for my pretty flowers in frame right now that we're zoomed in, but it's totally fine. This week was not a super high or super like crazy spend week for us, just because, you know, we're coming off of Christmas and we're trying to sort of reorient ourselves in the new year. I always feel like, especially when we go away somewhere, it is much harder to get back on track. And I don't mean like, you know, our spending has gone crazy or anything like that. What I just mean is just sort of getting back into your normal routine. I've definitely felt like a little funky and out of sorts since coming back. But anyways, I mean, there are like a lot of expenses sort of, but the amount isn't super duper high. So it shouldn't take us too long to get through this, especially because I don't spend a lot of time on purchases that are not exciting. So anyways, first step in our expense tracking was just a little grocery purchase from 7-Eleven. I think this was the day that I was like sort of eating my feelings, which I ended up paying for on the back end. So, and again, like I'm not justifying this, but you know, I did mention the anniversary of my dad's death was yesterday, and sometimes I just get stuck in my little feelings. And so I decide that donuts are a good idea, which they almost certainly never are, especially when it comes to me and my inflammatory reactions to food. So anyways, that's what happened. And yeah, so it was $8.38, and I'll be returning $9 to the bank. And next up, okay, so I have to tell you guys about this. I have been getting ads left and right for this purse brand called Allen. They're on social media. I'll go ahead and leave them linked down below for you if you are interested in a new bag. I'm not like a handbag and shoe kind of person necessarily, but I am a quality versus quantity kind of person. And I've heard some really good things about this brand, and they were having an end of year sale, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm also outing myself because I'd been looking at one of their bags for a while, and I ended up purchasing one, but I did it in one of those like pay in four kind of situations, which is essentially debt, honestly. You know, I'm paying for this purse in 4 different interest-free installments. And I did that. I justified doing it because I was like, I have the money in my envelope right now to pay for this. And I just don't want to deplete my envelope right now. So I know I'm going to be able to pay this back. This isn't that big of a deal. This is a one-off situation. I have only done a pay in four 2 times since we paid off our debt, or 2 times in the 2 years that we have been budgeting like this. And it is definitely not something that I recommend. And it's interesting because now what I'm in the little bit of money conversations that I see like through Dave Ramsey and Caleb, what's his name? I can't remember. He's like based out of Austin. That it's not so much credit card debt that younger generations are getting themselves into, but the pay in four debt, essentially. Like they've got $500 worth of payments that are coming out of their account every 2 weeks. And I'm just like, goodness gracious, that was a trap. So I'm definitely not an advocate of it, and definitely not a person who's like, I don't believe that you should buy anything that you can't afford. But I'm telling you this because I'm completely transparent on my channel. I don't lie to you guys about stuff. I don't keep things from you. This is all part of the budgeting process and sort of learning as you go. And again, I'm not trying to justify doing the pay in four, but this is literally the second time that I've done this in 2 years. I knew I had the money in my envelope at the time. I just didn't want it to all come out at one time. Mr. Simple gave me a nice scolding over that, and we moved on past it, but it's definitely not a practice that we will do. I mean, do you want to comment? Because he's standing right next to me here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The pay in four.
Yeah, we don't do that.
See? But we're done. I got my scolding, and it's over.
In the words of John Rambo.
Rambo, like Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
Oh, his name was...
Nothing is over.
Nothing is over? Oh.
It's a great scene, by the way.
Isn't?
Yeah, Rambo was ahead of his time.
I'll take your word for it.
He was talking about...
No.
No, he was talking about vets having difficulty returning from war.
Oh.
Most people just write off Rambo as this, like, dumb action movie, but...
Right.
It was about a vet with severe PTSD. And in that scene,
Nothing is over.
Right.
I don't know. I prefer him
recover from
as Rocky.
being overseas.
South Ball, South Jersey.
Yeah, well.
That is Sylvester Stallone. Anyways. Okay, love you. Anyways, so my first pay in four came out. It was $36, and I'll be returning $36 to the bank. It really is a beautiful bag. It came in. I absolutely love it. It's just my style. I lean toward smaller bags. I think this is like, speaking of PTSD, and I'm not using this obviously like seriously. I recognize that there are people who really actually have PTSD over things. I'm using this as more tongue in cheek. But as a mom who spent years carrying around a ginormous diaper bag, I have like big bag PTSD. And so now I just carry around smaller purses with me. As long as it can fit my phone, keys, wallet, like I'm good to go. I do have some like different size bags, but by and large, I prefer a smaller bag. And this one I just really, really loved. I love the quality of the leather. I love the size of it. I'll leave a picture of it up on the screen in case you're interested. But anyways, and I'll leave them linked up below if it's in budget. Don't do pay in four like me and get yelled at by your husband. Anyways, I'll be paying that back to the bank. Next up was the Target purchase, and it's coming out of home decor. And honestly and truly, I couldn't even tell you what this is for because I don't remember. So $28.49, and I'll be returning $29 to the bank. Our home decor envelope is currently empty, but I do supplement it with Etsy and YouTube, so it will just come out of my Etsy and YouTube pay for this month. So it's not that big of a deal that it's empty. It just isn't getting returned right now. Home goods, this one I do remember what it's for. Home goods is $4.11. That was also a home decor purchase. I was gifted a home goods gift card for my birthday. My family threw me like a big 40th birthday party, and I was given a $50 home goods gift card. And I'm not usually a home goods shopper, but I was like, well, I get a $50 gift card, and I've been thinking about replacing the mirror in my powder room for some time now because the mirror that I have in there that I bought is just too big for the space. So I did, and it came to $54.11 because of tax. So I'll be returning $4 to the bank. I'm not actually returning this money. I'm just subtracting this from what home decor gets this month from my Etsy and YouTube income. So anyways, next up was an Amazon purchase, and it is a gift. I'm putting together like a little gift goodie bag, so to speak, for a friend of mine who's getting married. And so the total price for this one came to $14.99, and I'll be returning $15 to the bank from our gifts envelope. And next up was Amazon. I'm trying to remember what this was because this is coming from my spending also. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. You guys are going to laugh at me. So I know like there are some people who sleep with, silk or satin pillowcases. And then there are other women who utilize like a hair bonnet to protect your hair when you're sleeping so that there's no breakage and no friction and all that kind of stuff on your hair. And I understand, like, obviously the benefits of the pillowcase are just beyond your hair. It's like, or it goes beyond your hair. It's like good for your skin and stuff too. But I decided to go the hair bonnet route, and my husband likes to make fun of me at night when I'm wearing this thing because it looks funny on me. But I want to see if it does improve the texture of my hair, and also just allows for, because I have a lot of like growth on my temples, or I'm sorry, I experience a lot of breakage around my temples because of the fact that if I'm not sleeping on my back, I'm sleeping on my side. And so I feel like there's a lot of hair breakage there. So I want to see if this like helps resolve that. I'm not as worried about my skin, just because, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm smooshing my face on my pillow or anything. Anyways, so I wanted to try this out and buy myself a hair bonnet. And so that's what I did. And I found one that was silk, not satin, because silk is like the natural fiber. And anyway, it was $25.97, and I'll be returning $26 to the bank. Next up, this was again me eating my feelings. Don't do that. I got a Cinnabon from Schlotzsky's. I don't even know if that's how you say it, because we didn't have them on the East Coast. I only saw them once we moved out to Texas, but Cinnabon is sold from Schlotzsky's, or it's owned by Schlotzsky's or something. I don't know. Either way, I went and got myself a Cinnabon when I was feeling sad. And it's coming from my envelope, and I didn't even put my payback amount. I got to return $6 to the bank. It was $5.40, and it caused my knee to swell up like a cantaloupe. So it was not worth it. I could not walk. It was annoying. So don't do it, kids. Don't eat food that you know causes inflammatory responses in your body that cause you pain and make it difficult for you to walk. Don't do it, because it wasn't worth it. I mean, it was delicious, but it wasn't worth it. Walking is nice. Next up, we have an Amazon purchase. Again, this is home decor. This one was actually for one of the filler pillows, or to buy a filler for one of the pillowcases that I bought for my couch cushions. I'm sorry. It took me a lot of English to try to get that out. So the total price was $28.13. It was actually a 2-pack of this size, because I think I want to get a lumbar pillow for my upstairs. We have like an IKEA sectional in our TV room upstairs, and I think I want to get a lumbar pillow for up there too. So that's why I bought a 2-pack from Amazon. So it was $28.13, and I'll be returning $28 to the bank, or just subtracting this from what I give it in the month of January. Anyways, moving right along. This is another Amazon purchase. This was a mascara I was actually, quote unquote, influenced to buy from this girl who I follow on social media, who has unbelievable eyelashes. I mean, they're ridiculously long naturally, but she was saying, I don't even remember the name of the mascara, but I will go ahead and leave it linked down below for you guys if you're interested. She was saying that this is a non-toxic mascara, and she said that the wear on it is really good, and it curls her, it leaves her eyelashes like curled up a little bit, because she really struggles with her eyelashes being straight or like pointing down, which is the exact same problem I have. I have decent length on my eyelashes. They just don't stay like curled up. I will say this, as far as mascaras are concerned that wear really well and help your eyelashes stay up, I still do not think that anything beats L'Oreal Telescopic and Carbon Black. Like, that mascara does the Lord's work of doing good things for your lashes, but it's L'Oreal, so I am certain that it is like ridiculously toxic for your eyeballs. This brand is supposed to be a non-toxic brand. I can't think of the name of it. I have worn it twice now. I love the brush on it, and I actually really like the formula of it. I don't think it's as good as L'Oreal Telescopic and Carbon Black, which is significantly cheaper than this one. But if you are looking to make like non-toxic switches, especially in makeup products, then this would be one that I would recommend to you. Again, the formula is not as good as the L'Oreal one, but it is really close. I like the way it dries. I like the way that it seems to hold my lashes up better than other nail polishes. better than other mascaras that I have used before. Have I been saying nail polish about this the whole time? I'm talking about mascara, not nail polish. Either way, it's a good one. I will leave it linked below for you guys if you're interested in it. Again, I can't think of the name of the brand, but I'll pop it up on the screen too. Next up, another Amazon purchase. This was like an Amazon week. After the choking scare or the fainting spell that we had with our daughter, we also were like, hey, we don't have fire extinguishers in the house. So now we're just going about our house and putting in all of the safety or life-saving equipment that we maybe should have had the entire time. So Mr. Simple purchased 2 different fire extinguishers. One of them is, I think, specific for grease fires, and the other one's just sort of like a general fire extinguisher, I think. I'll leave it linked below for you guys if you're interested, if you need to bring some goodies into your house that will help save lives in the event of emergencies. And speaking of fires, if you live in California and you were close to this fire or you've lost your home, I am so sorry. As a never resident of California, but appreciator of California, as after I visited, I was just like, oh my gosh, I get why people come here and live here, because it's absolutely breathtaking. Even like I was there, it was so dry and brown and barren, but like there's something really beautiful about the fact that the ocean's right there next to the mountains, and I love all the beaches. And I just found like every little beach town that I visited in California to be so charming and lovely, and the people were so friendly. I'm sorry about all the banging that you can hear outside my window right now. But anyway, my heart and prayers go out to you guys if you are dealing with any of this. It is so devastating, and watching your state burn like that, even if you're not in the line of fire, must be so heartbreaking. And there's really, just nothing else I can say beyond that. But I did want to mention it also here because I'm sure I have some viewers from California. So anyways, moving along here is this Amazon. I don't think it was Amazon. Okay, I had to go figure out what that banging was outside and put a stop to it. So anyways, this was not an Amazon purchase. I don't know why I wrote Amazon. I think it was Whole Foods. It was Whole Foods, and it was $93.31, and I will be returning $93 to the bank. Next up, we have an Apple purchase. This was a movie that we rented for the kids. We rented a series of movies after we got back from Christmas vacation, but before my kids went back to school. And so it was $4.23, and I'll be returning $4 to the bank. Oh, this was the Whole Foods purchase. Then what was this one? Maybe it was Sprouts. This was also grocery. It was $106.63, and some of this grocery money will get returned to the bank, and the rest of it will just be pulled from what I would use over the rest of the month. We did have a snowy snowstorm here in the DFW area, and so I went a little overboard with groceries this week just to make sure that we were extra stocked up on stuff in the house, because I'm petrified of running out of groceries and not being able to replenish. I think that's a little bit of a holdover from COVID, because you sometimes would go to the grocery store during COVID, when the height of COVID, when supply chains were really messed up and there were things that you wanted that you couldn't find at the grocery store. So anyways, no need to go deep into my psychology here. But that's sort of how we're handling it, is I'll just deduct this money from what I was going to spend on groceries throughout the rest of the month, which will be fine because, I'll still have some holdover money, or I'll still have some more meals and food in my freezer from week to week than I originally would have, because I overbought. So that's how we handle that. Again, this was another movie purchase, just renting movies that were feel good and fun to watch. The total for this one came to $12.69, and I'll be returning $13 to the bank. Next up, we had to buy little faucet covers for our outdoor faucets because we were getting snow and potentially ice. So I went into Home Depot and I grabbed 2 of them. The total came to $9.11, and I'll be returning $9 to the bank. This one was a follow-up appointment for my daughter for after she fainted. We just had to go have a little bit of additional testing done just to make sure everything was okay, and make sure the fainting wasn't the result of something serious, and it's not. She's totally fine. Everything's okay. Fainting is like a thing that unfortunately runs in my family. So it makes sense from a medical standpoint why it would have happened to her. It was just odd circumstances that it happened under, which is why we got some follow-up testing done. So everything's fine, but this is going to take $50 out of our medical envelope, and so I've got to return that to the bank. More groceries. I panic buy. Okay, so the total cost came to $69.53, and I will be returning $70 to the bank. Next up was a Target purchase, and this one we break down into a couple different categories. This is what I do, by the way. I always save receipts or check back in the app. It just depends on which one I'm using, so that we can make sure that we are attributing the appropriate dollar amounts to the appropriate categories, because this was $105.82, and it would really suck if, half of that was grocery, but I just couldn't remember which half of it was. So save your receipt so that you can track your expenses properly. And actually $50 of this is coming from my personal spending. I went into the women's clearance clothing section, and I ended up finding a pair of workout pants on clearance and two workout hoodie kind of situations for, I already said workout hoodies. Because I do like to go on walks, and when it's cold here, I like to be layered up, and I am not in need of summer workout clothes, but I was in need of some winter workout clothes. And so check your clearance sections, because I got two hoodies and a pair of workout leggings for $50. So I'll be returning $50 to the bank. And then the rest of it was groceries, $55.82, and I'll be returning $56 to the bank. Last up for the day was air for our tires. It's coming from our car maintenance envelope, and it was $2.50, and I'll just be returning $2 to the bank. So that's it. Those are the expenses that we had to track today. So what I'm going to do is zoom you guys back out, and we will get into the rest of the video. All right. So what we're going to do now, and I always zoom you guys through this, I'm going to add up all of my return to bank amounts so that I know roughly how much money to expect to have at the end of all of the unstuffing. And then we will actually get into the unstuffing itself. I always zoom you guys through this because nobody wants to sit here and watch Music Calculator. So here we go. Okay, so at the end of this, we should have $683, and I'm just gonna make a little note here. But, so if you'll notice, if you've been around here for some time, you'll notice that I removed the balance section of my expense tracking page. And the reason for that is because now included in my new budget planner is a bank return tracker. So this was actually a recommendation of one of my subscribers, and is it Jessie? I want to say Jessie, but I'm not 100% certain if I remembered that correctly. Either way, she came up with the brilliant idea of doing a bank return tracker, because I would always forget what I returned from each category. And so this way I can put the date, the category or the fund that I'm returning to the bank, the dollar amount that I'm returning, and then the balance after the return. And so that's the reason why I removed it from this sheet, because I have several different pages in my budget planner where I have the availability for you, or the ability for you to track your balance. And I just didn't think it was necessary on this one, but I thought it was more necessary on the bank return tracker. So it does call for needing to kind of go back and forth between two pages, but honestly, the ability to accurately track your expenses is the priority here. So I'm just going to kind of put these pages next to each other, and I'm going to write down, so today is 110, and I'll just be able to draw an arrow down. And I'm just going to start from, did I put the balance down? I did. I'm going to start in high priority sinking funds. So we've got groceries up first. I am supposed to, let me just add all of this up. So 9 plus 93 plus 107 plus 56 is 265. So I only have $100 in here, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Okay, so that leaves me shy $165. So over here, so minus 165. So this will just be removed from what I cash stuff in the coming weeks for groceries. So it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, I overbought because I was sort of panic buying for the snowstorm. So I do that sometimes. So now in here on my bank return tracker, I'm just gonna put grocery, and I'm returning $100. Oh, maybe the 100, and I have a balance of 0 because I've emptied the envelope out. But this just lets me know now, by utilizing this page, I know what category I returned, how much from each category, so that I can, it makes the like accounting process much easier this way. So anyways, and now what I can do is go into each of my grocery expenses and put a check mark because I did reconcile it, even if all of the money isn't being returned to the bank. And I'll show you guys what I do actually. So from here, I would go into my budget planner and go, oh wait, I gotta go all the way back here. So I have a monthly funding plan in my budget planner, and this is how I break down how I'm going to do my cash stuffings every single week. So what I do in groceries is just go next to it and put minus 165 so that I know to subtract $65 from all of my future stuffings for the month of January. And that's how I go about accounting for any discrepancy in our budget planning here. So that's how I'll do it for all of these categories. Let me check and see if I have any other high priority sinking funds. Oh yeah, toiletries. Looks like we just have, oh wait, let me grab that one. You going to work out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let me go into toiletries. I think this is gonna empty it, but toiletries is being like extra stuffed this week too, so. Yeah, 20, 35, 40. Oh, I'm returning 30 to toiletries, I think. Yeah, 30. So 20, 30, no, 10, 20. And I have $10 left in toiletries. So let me just go ahead and reconcile that. Toiletries. And $30, and it's got $10 left. Okay, and then home maintenance is another one. So 46, I thought we had more than one. Yeah, 9. That's it. So $55 from home maintenance. 20, 40, 55. And I have 21, 2, 3, 24 left in home maintenance. I'll just put that here so I don't forget it. 24. I'm returning 55 to home maintenance. Okay. Just had to make sure I got my correct dollar amount there. All right. And then let me cross those purchases off there. And then let me see, car maintenance. Or car expenses. I don't know why I put maintenance there. Oh my gosh, I really do have $2. That's awesome. Okay, so now in car expenses, we've got 100, 200, 20, 40, 50, 1 and 2. So 252 in car expenses. Oops. Okay, $2. And let me cross that off. Okay, I think that, yeah, that's it for high priority sinking funds. So I'm gonna go into low priority. I don't know what I have in my envelope, but I have $150 from Christmas in the bank still. So it's not like I'm deficient, so to speak. So 36, 26, 6, $10.50. So $118 is what I need to return. 20. So I'm returning 30. What does that leave? 88. So I gotta put that here, minus 88, just so I know to subtract it from that. Hers. I'm returning 30. I have none left. And then off screen here, I'm gonna subtract the 88 from like my future stuffings. But remember, like I said, I have $150 in my bank account, or in our checking account from Christmas. So I'm not really deficient. It just looks like I've got a deficit in my envelope, but I don't. Let me go ahead and just reconcile that so that I know. Okay, that's it. And then home decor, I think, is entirely empty. Let me see. Yeah, home decor is empty. So I need to figure out what I have to subtract from my planned stuffing for the month of January. So 29, 4, 28. I think that's it. So 61. And then I have to just track that I need to subtract 61 from my planned home decor stuffing in the month of January. Okay, and that is those purchases reconciled as well. Home decor. Okay, and then it looks like oh, you know what? I missed medical in high priority. Oh, perfect. Oh, okay. So I only have 40 to return, but it's fine. We actually had a lot of our medical money in our high yield savings account or in our checking account. So I'm returning 40 from medical. And it's got a zero balance, but we have money in our high yield savings. Let me just... Okay. Oh, I'm glad I saw that, because I would have been like, why am I short all this money? Medical. Okay, now I can pop into family fun. Let me just double check. Let me see. So 4, 13. So 17 from family fun. I've only got 10 in there. So I am shy 7. I know that this looks like we're spending money that we don't have, but that is not the case. We just, we're getting everything back in order after being away for the holidays, and we left some money in our checking account as opposed to stuffing all of it in the first cash stuffing of January. So that's sort of how that's coming out in the wash. So if you're new, I apologize, because the process might look a little wonky to you, but this is not, like, we don't like to do this. Okay, and then last up, we've just got to go into holiday sinking funds because we've got to pool our gift money. So let me just check and make sure. I think that's the last purchase. Yeah, $15 from gifts. Perfect. So 10 and a 5, and we've got 25, 26, and 27 left in gifts. Oh, not 10. We returned 15 gifts. And that is the last expense. So I'll just draw an arrow down there so that I know. Okay, and then I think that's it. So 683 minus 165 minus 88 minus 61 minus 7. So I should have $362 sitting over here. So let's give her a count. So 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75, 80, 81, and 82. 282. Did I forget to subtract a number here? 100 plus 30 plus 55 plus 2 plus 30. Okay, it took me some time off camera to figure out what happened, but I figured out what happened. When I did my initial grocery accounting, I didn't add up all of the amounts properly. I actually was supposed to have a bigger amount than I originally thought. So I sorted that out, and then also I forgot to put down the medical discrepancy that I had as well. So I ended with $282, and that's exactly what I should have based off of all of that. So I do apologize. I know that a check-in like this is going to be more confusing than usual. I promise you, if you watch my content long enough, it'll all start to sort of make sense and sort itself out. But the other thing that I always recommend too is watching several content creators, because watching the process happen in a variety of different ways, and in the minds of people who do things slightly differently from person to person, it really does help, because somebody else's content may make more sense in your brain than mine does. So don't be discouraged if this is like one of the first videos that you're watching and you find it very confusing. I promise you that this stuff sort of sorts itself out if you do it long enough. I was so confused in the beginning of watching cash stuffing and just zero-based budgeting content on YouTube and social media in general. And then eventually it all started making sense in my brain. So I promise that it will happen for you too. Do not be discouraged. Just kind of stay with the program. So anyways, that is going to do it for me for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, I would love it so much if you would give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Remember that everything in my Etsy shop, if you are looking to get some budgeting supplies, is 25% off. And also leave me a Q&A question if you have one down below in the comments as well, because we will be filming the Q&A toward the end of the month as well. So that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back with you on Monday with my second cash stuffing of January, which is exciting. And that's it. I hope you guys have a good one. Happy weekend. Enjoy your time. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye, everyone.